Annyeonghaseyo, this is meowmurai. Let's continue our game of Wylde Flowers, running on Nintendo Switch 2.
Oh, ha! Gotcha! Thomas has been grumbling that Marty is probably guilty, but he's obviously biased against him. I'm worried. Marty has even fewer friends here than I did at my trial.
Oh, hey, knife. What are you up to today? Oh, your cat died. Oh, that's too bad. I know exactly how that is. Yeah, unfortunately, I know exactly how that is. Yeah, 3 other cats. Yeah, I mean, you know, whenever one I mean, you can have like 50 of them, and when one passes, it's still sad. Was she a little older? Or did she have like some, like a kidney disease or something like that? Or I guess both of those could be true, but... There's 9 years. I mean, that's a pretty good time for a cat. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, we all creatures get old and must pass.
Is all in readiness for Marty's trial?
Yes. I just hope Francis made the locket in time.
Angus tries not to show it, but he carries a powerful fear within him. He's pushed it away to try to keep himself safe, I'm sure. Unfortunately, that's had the opposite effect.
Kitty had an appetite. Did you bury her or cremate her? Or maybe you haven't decided yet. I think the most cats I ever had were 3. 3 was the most. Lately, I've only had 1 cat at a time, but I've adopted them when they were older. Usually, it's a little harder for an older cat to have, a brand new roommate. Do you like Donkey Kong? Yeah, I like Donkey Kong quite a bit. I'm assuming you mean the new one.
Am I ready for bed?
Actually, I like most Donkey Kong games. I think the only ones I really didn't care for that much were the Donkey Kong Countries on the Super Nintendo. I know a lot of people love those games, but I really wasn't into them.
Parker, it looks amazing. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Hey, think you might plant some marigolds? We sure could use a burst of sunshine around here. Here's some seeds I found left over from last summer.
Oh, I have a bunch on me.
Got something for you, Parker.
Oh, wow, thanks. These will really brighten up my living room. Maybe brighten up the mood in the house, too.
Oh, is something wrong?
You know, 'tis the season for the winter doldrums. It will pass. What am I gonna do now that the ferry's not running? I was waiting on some specialty woods to be delivered.
Life is Strange?
Work is pretty much the
Yeah.
only thing keeping me going right now.
I played the original. I don't think we finished After the Storm or Life is Strange. Well, it's not called Life is Strange 2, but yeah. Yeah, those were really good. I liked them quite a bit.
Oh,
In fact, I think I like most of Don't Nod's games. You know, the Life is Strange developer.
You still liked that, didn't you, Kitty?
They're a pretty solid studio. Really, we've had a lot of fun with the choice-based games. You know, from the visual novels that, well, I mean, Life is Strange basically does play just like a visual novel. It's just it's, you know, it's not just all text. Life is Strange reunion, huh? Yeah, I don't think we ever started double exposure here. That was what I was thinking of Life is Strange 2. So at some point in time, I would like to do that. Let's see, we can do off-season things here, huh? Power Rangers. I did not grow up with Power Rangers. So yeah, it's not like I have like a lot of nostalgia for it. When Power Rangers came out, I think I was too old to watch it. You know what I mean? Yeah, not quite young enough for Power Rangers. Old enough for Transformers, but not Power Rangers. Oh, it must be Sunday. I was like, why are none of the places open? Ah, I would explain it.
Amira's been on me about my surfer's year, but as long as I got one still doing the job, I'm all good, brah.
Like Super Sentai. Yeah, that's one of those things where I probably would like it.
Juliet's been saying she doesn't want to go to school anymore. But you can't just drop out at 12. When I threatened to drop out of high school, I at least had the decency to wait until I was 16. Come to think of it, I guess I should just be grateful that she isn't attempting an ill-advised piercing or tattoo.
You have a tattoo? Where?
Yeah, I'm not telling.
Spaghetti bolognese. Wish I had the ingredients. Wouldn't mind making that. I would have to go out and buy ingredients for that, though.
Francis asked me about, like, staging an intervention with Angus about his membership in Cameron's Consciousness Center. I don't think Angus sees it as a problem. And I'm definitely not getting in the middle of that.
Trying to think of what else would be from that era. Yeah, I think those particular years I also didn't have television, I want to say. Because when I was younger, we didn't have television for a while. Yeah. Yeah, who knows what that tattoo is of either, yeah.
How could he do this? How? I try to be a forgiving person, but I don't know if I can forgive Cameron and Otto for the path they've steered my husband down.
Are you still thinking about a tattoo? Or does the idea of somebody sticking a needle into you for 2 to 6 hours seem off-putting? Don't know the logic behind a private tattoo. Well,
It is a recipe.
Jambalaya. Well, like, if you're talking about like the game, then it sounded like she just did something because she was being rebellious. But tattoos don't necessarily. It's like having like a necklace. You know, maybe the necklace doesn't show, but a necklace might have some special meaning to you. It's kind of how I look at it. You know, like some people will tattoo the names of their kids on themselves. Right? It's not necessarily something that's for the public. It's more something that's for the person getting that tattoo. You don't like the piercing? Well, like all piercings? You know, like, or like certain kind of piercings. Like some people like earrings, but they don't like, you know, the septum piercing, you know, the nose piercing. Or maybe like piercing the eyebrows or piercing the belly button, you know, stuff like that. I think piercing the ears is a pretty common thing. I don't think that's just like a super controversial thing for people to do. I want to say that that's true with like tongue piercing and nose piercing at this point in time. Like I don't know if they're really taboo things anymore.
Good one.
Oh, this is where I get tuna, huh? Well, I already bought the tuna. It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Oh, gotcha.
The lip piercing. Yeah, my first wife had her lips pierced. Oh, she didn't really like it wasn't like a big ring that she wore, and she didn't put the ring in all the time. Yeah, I didn't mind it. It didn't really get in the way of anything. Okay. So she has her lip pierced in 2 different places. She have like her upper lip and her lower lip pierced, or like 2 piercings in the lower lip, something like that. Lower lips, okay. That's pretty common. Yeah, a lot of people have kind of like thin upper lips, so it's a little rough to get the upper lip pierced. But you know, obviously, you see it. Well, you know, I live in a very liberal city, so tattoos and piercings are not really uncommon. In fact, it's always a little surprising to run into somebody who doesn't have a tattoo or some sort of piercing, you know, in some public place. Well, at least in the social circles I run around in, I'm sure there are, you know, neighborhoods where that's not really a thing. I have not lived in any of those neighborhoods, though.
What's inside, I cannot see. I'll open you up and set you free.
Belly button piercing. Do you mind the belly button piercing? I think it looks kind of nice, honestly. Unless you have a weird looking belly button, then it might be a little distracting. Ah, right. Well, you know, in case you do find another mate with a piercing, it won't be a turnoff. Yeah, some people are like really pure about their bodies. They don't want any tattoos or any piercings. I think they maybe just put up with rings and necklaces, you know, for all I know. That's a little boring for me. And though piercings aren't expensive, tattoos can certainly be expensive.
Am I ready for bed?
Oh, do you consider a tattoo or a piercing less feminine? Well, I mean, a piercing... I'm not sure if that's really... Again, it depends on what the piercing is. I think it's pretty common for women to have piercings. At least of the ear. Maybe other spots are a little more rare, but... Certainly the ear is very popular. I can't believe we use eggs in the lockpicking condition. I was like, why do we need eggs for the lockpicking? Again, and this is really just probably because of the town I live in, but I know quite a number of school teachers that have, piercings and tattoos. It said it's a pretty liberal town. Though I mean, obviously that's not a bad thing. I mean, I do live here, and I generally don't have people with or don't have a problem with the people in town that live here as well. I mean, it's certainly okay not to have a tattoo or a piercing. But yeah, I don't imagine that's like a first date situation necessarily, especially if you can't see the tattoo or they choose not to show you a tattoo. They're not wearing anything that would expose it. Like I said, most people I know don't even know that I have a tattoo. I mean, viewers of the channel would know. And like my very, very, very closest friends know because they've seen me in a tank top. But yeah, like nobody at work particularly knows that I that I have a tattoo. Most strangers I would run into probably wouldn't know it.
You still liked that, didn't you, Kitty?
Like I don't go out of my way to show my tattoos off. But it also keeps the tattoo, well, it prevents the tattoo from fading, obviously, if you don't expose it to the sun as much. And mine's still a work in progress. There's more work I would like to have done for my tattoos. The two tattoos were just kind of an experiment to see if I'd be okay with the process of having a tattoo, and then if I would like the look of a tattoo. And yeah, I'm good with both. So then now it's a matter of getting 2 more tattoos that are a little bit more complex, but still, within my shoulders, not really exposed. Eye tattoos, that's pretty hardcore. That's some pain to experience for an eye tattoo. The worst tattoos are along the side where the rib cage is. Those are the absolute worst. Or anywhere where there's primarily a lot of bone and not a whole lot of muscle. That kind of tattoo, you really feel that tattoo. You better be really happy with whatever tattoo you're getting, because yeah, that's not an experience. That is a pleasurable experience. She looks like an alien. Well, I mean, I like to think of it as living art. So art, tattoos, just like art, are very interpretive. Obviously, the boyfriend's okay with it too. I think I've only had maybe a date with one girl that hasn't had a tattoo. Yeah, I do like the tattoos. It's just, and it really, well, number one, I'm just an observer, right? So a tattoo on somebody else's body is, it's just like, oh, I can just appreciate it. I I don't like hold a lot of opinions on other people's tattoos. Right? It's usually a very conscious choice. But yeah, it can be very attractive depending on where the tattoo is and what the tattoo is of.
I can't help but wonder if someone did tamper with the fairy. If anyone can fix it, though, it's Parker. And I'll be happy to take a torch to anything that needs welding.
Yeah, I mean, there definitely can be a point where maybe... like, there's only so much canvas you have to work with, right? So if you're just like filling up every inch of the canvas, I mean, I guess to me it would have it's like very busy looking. I think there's a lot more impact if you just have like a few very strategically placed,
Parker can't
well
stop
done
talking
tattoos.
about the greenhouse he built you. He's proud of his work, of course, but I think he's also hoping you'll grow some out-of-season flowers. He hates having to wait all year for sunflowers.
Oh, that's right. I can buy all this stuff that's out of season. Buy a bunch of wheat seeds. Tired of buying flour. Ooh, wow, they're super expensive. Making a killing off me. Buying out of season seeds. But again, you know, one could argue like there's no such thing as too many paintings in a museum. So, to each of their own, I say.
I was on my way to the onsen, and Amira and Giva walked by on snowshoes. They looked like they were having fun. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Babe, you don't actually say the wink, wink, nudge, nudge part out loud.
I'm sorry, but I can't wink. My left eye just always does whatever the right one is doing, and vice versa. I can't whistle either.
You don't like emo girls? Oh, you don't like the look of an emo girl? I think it largely depends for me. I kind of grew up with a lot of emo girls in high school. And they tended to be like the really friendly ones. Versus like the like a more traditional like trad girlfriend. You know what I mean? Like they tended to be the less friendly ones.
The word witch. I mean, why did he have to call Sophia that?
But you were okay with Cameron calling Sophia a malcontent.
Yes, because malcontents are real. Look, I know how it sounds, but malcontents can be dangerous, Tara.
Yeah, goth and emo. They're very similar. Yes, they share like some of the same clothing and makeup, but they're not exactly the same, right? Kind of variations on the same theme. Yeah, like strangely enough, like I like growing up, I never really liked people that played like a lot of sports or people that worked out a lot. Even though I work out almost every day, but I don't necessarily like a person that like that's their identity is working out.
Was hoping I might see you today. Are you tending any sheep on that farm? I could use some wool if you have some to spare.
Oh, an offering for the Coven Cauldron?
No. This winter won't be letting up anytime soon. And I live in a cabin in the woods. I've got enough wood to keep my fire going, but I thought I might knit myself a warm blanket.
Of course. I'll see what I can do.
Appreciated.
She's a tomboy. I mean, I think it sort of depends on what kind of tomboy too, right? Like I know some tomboys that are actually pretty attractive. Of course, you know, I mean, they don't exist for me, right? I mean, I'm sure they like their style because that's what makes them comfortable. I'm trying to think if I know any like tomboyish girls right now or women now, and I don't necessarily think I hang out with any. I mean, the girls at work are very traditional.
Got one.
I mean, I don't know if that's because like the hiring managers are biased, or if, you know, people in the financial industry just are more classic looking people.
Oh, quick! Got one!
Might be a little of both. Maybe that's why I find the whole look boring. You can just kind of associate it with like boring things.
Oh, yeah.
Skinny muscular or just muscular? You mean on a man or a woman? On a man. Well, I will say it largely depends on a person's frame. Like some people just have a lithe frame, and having a lot of muscle on somebody that's like kind of like a tall, lanky person doesn't really look good. I personally like a more balanced look. Like I don't necessarily think having like a ton of muscle. Well, number one, it's very hard on your body having a ton of muscle. So just from a physical point of view, you know, and how your body deals with like a ton of muscle. I mean, I don't necessarily think that's good. So I guess I would lean more towards like athletic, right? I guess that's what you would call skinny muscular. Like, I don't want you to work out so much. I don't want you to work out your upper body so much that you hurt your back later in life. You know what I mean? Like some people, when they worked out, they concentrated way too much on their upper body, and then, you know, when they hit their like 40s and 50s, their back is just constantly in pain. I think that may be a little too much. Yeah. Yeah, and I think something to bear in mind too is that not everybody builds muscle in the same way. So, let's say you liked the more bodybuilder type, that was more of your type of look, and maybe that's what you want to look like. But your body may not actually be able to give you that kind of look, right? Your body just may not support that. You can get around that with, you know, some supplements, but it's sort of going against what your body is naturally comfortable with. Everyone's skinny in your family? Yeah, I'd say that's true in my family too. Most of my family's pretty skinny. Only me and my mom were the fat ones. You know, I got all the fatness from my mom. Well, like my siblings are skinny. Dad's skinny. I don't really even think that's a bad thing.
I'm all out of magic. I could drink a potion to recover some magic, or replenish the wellspring.
Oh, what? I'm out of magic. What the heck is going on? Wow, did I really burn that much magic? Oh, I think because of the condition of the seasons. Magic just runs out more. I mean, if you start off as skinny, you kind of have an advantage versus starting off as fat, right? Like, it's much easier to build muscle if you're skinnier rather than losing a bunch of weight. Like, it's a much harder process to lose weight. Especially somebody my age where, you know, I like in my 20s and 30s, you know, it was pretty easy to control my weight. But in the 50s, it's very, very, very difficult. It's very difficult to have the, you know, the very low amount of calories plus the very high amount of activity in order to stay, you know, quote unquote skinny. It's very, very difficult. You know, the body changes significantly, you know, in your 40s, you know, one time in your 40s and one time in your 50s. And probably in your 60s too, I'm sure it goes through another change.
Should I go to bed?
Yeah, being skinny is not necessarily bad. I think it's a good place to start, like I said. I mean, you can always build muscle. Just eating lots of chicken and lifting lots of weights. You know, balance that out with some good cardio routine. Make sure that your workouts include full motion, right? Because you don't want to be locked into the kind of body that has like a limited motion. And again, that's really for health reasons that you'd want to be, you know, have like a more well-balanced, you know, longer, stretchier kind of workout where you're really, you know, kind of working degrees of your muscles.
Aw, still loving that, aren't ya?
I don't know, for me, it's like I'm not like a consumer of man. So to me, it's like, hey, whatever makes you happy. If you're a guy, you know, just do whatever makes you happy. You know, do whatever you know, look however your girlfriend wants you to look. Or look how, you know, look how you want other people to have you look. I don't know. I mean, or whatever makes you happy and comfortable. Like, some people are perfectly, you know, comfortable in a, you know, kind of a bigger frame, you know, and, you know, an overweight frame. I mean, you know, more power to them, I guess. I don't want that because, you know, it just has health consequences. You know, could be blood pressure, heart rate, you know, diabetes. You know, there are real health risks to having too much body fat. Oh yeah, I was trying to find all the secrets in the caves. Okay, so you just want to do some, a little bit of extra work. Yeah, I mean, when I say overweight, I mean like the medical definition of overweight, right? Because again, you know, some people they have like they may be technically overweight, but the way their body is framed, it's not you know, it's not necessarily bad for them, right? It doesn't really look bad. Again, there may be some health consequences to that, but yeah, I mean, it largely depends. I kind of hate to say it that way, but sometimes, you know, some people are a little heavier, and it's perfectly okay. Really, I think of it more from the health side than from the look side. Like, I just want people to live, like, healthy, happy lives, you know, as long as they can. Which is already a lofty goal. I mean, that can be a very difficult thing to achieve. I can't believe I ran out of sand. God, I thought I had like a ton of that stuff. Oh, you have lighter facial hair. I think it's funny when you're younger, or when some people are younger, you know, they grow facial hair to make them look older, and then when they're older, they shave the facial hair and they to make themselves look younger. So I can't win sometimes, yeah. Yeah, I'm at the age where I do prefer like a clean shaven look. But I work with a bunch of people who have full beards, so so obviously your mileage may vary on what you like. I thought there were treasure chests in every single level, but I guess I was mistaken. Pokemon ROM hacks? Oh, I mean, I just don't have the time. I don't know when I could fit in just the regular Pokemon without ROM hacks, much less ROM hacked specific games. And I kind of have to consider what people want to watch too. Like a lot of people want to watch this game, which is strangely enough, at least on TikTok. Like the cozy games are more popular over there, and like Octopath Traveler is more popular over there. I mean, it's a small consideration. I mean, if I like something, I'll just play it, but you know, regardless of whether it gets views or not. But I would like to try to balance that out with something that people like enjoy watching. Yeah, I think a lot of it has to do with the time period too, like when you grew up.
What's inside?
I think it has a lot to do with whether you like beards or beards and mustaches versus clean shaven. But I did grow up in the age where a respectable man was considered a man that was clean shaven. But, you know, 2 generations later, and that's not necessarily true. Whereas like beards and mustaches are, I don't know if they're distinguished, but they're not frowned upon.
What's inside I cannot see. I'll open you up and set you free.
Dear Joanna, I wanted to wait until I got off the ferry to tell you this, but I need to hear what you think. Hazel and Robert have told me about a plot of land that's for sale. The soil's good, Joanna. As good as my parents' farm. There's even a loft in the attic if you could use as an art studio. And it's right near the beach, so we can take Thomas and Crystal swimming. Just think about it. We can talk more when I get home. Love, Billy. I think a fine-kept mustache is still considered like a respectable look. I mean, if you have a raggedy mustache, then you know it's not really like a nice-looking gentleman, right?
Am I ready for bed?
But full beards, I think that's where the generation lines are drawn. And it's different for every country, so you know, there's no real good definitive answer. All right, well, we stop it there. This is meowmurai. You've been watching Wylde Flowers running on Nintendo Switch 2. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed watching. I will see you at the next stream.